And the results. The red line on there was where we were in 2005, and you can see not only were we all over the map with our productivity, but rarely did we get above 100%. And since then, we've been consistently at or above 100% productivity. Our response times. Again, I showed you an earlier slide where we had committed response times. If you look at the blue line, we sort of struggled a little bit that first year in meeting those response times, but the fact that we had the ability to measure things and track it, we took care of the things that were problematic and brought those response times back up. Now you can look at this and say, well, geez, how come you're not at 100% in meeting those response times? We advertised to our customers that we would manage their service events no matter who was turning the wrench. Okay, so this also includes vendor response as well as ours. This is something that we promote to put dollars to what impact we're having on the system. If you look at our downtime reports, the graphs are essentially identical, but this, instead of showing it as downtime, we put dollars to it. So it's sort of a simplistic way of looking at this. In the area of MR, if I charge $1,000 a scan and I'm able to do 4 scans in an hour, that means every hour of downtime, if I'm at 100% throughput, translates to $4,000 an hour when that piece is down. Of course, finance won't accept that, so we've actually amended that a little bit, and what you see here is a graph or a chart of scheduling information that we get right from Cerner, our EMR, and every one of those green blocks is when they have patients scheduled, and this happens to be one particular MRI bay. And only when there's a red block that overlaps when they had something scheduled, as far as a hard down, is what we report as potential lost revenue. Now, I guess you could argue, well, even that doesn't constitute lost revenue because I just reschedule patients for later, but minimally it has an impact on patient satisfaction. And the other thing here is, you know, if you look at this, it outlines opportunities for the department manager. You know, there's a lot of unused hours in there. Total full use of this particular room is only at 51.9%. We also look at that as if there's consistent blocks of time in there, then there's an opportunity for us to get in there and schedule work without impacting caseloads. Our customer satisfaction surveys, the first year we sent this out after the reorg. We're at 3.75 on a 1 to 5 scale. Given all the changes that we implemented, I was actually pretty happy with that. But you can see that we've consistently increased those year after year after year. And what I really like is if you look at those top 2 graphs, 72% of our responses are either very good or excellent. Going back and looking at the limitations that we outlined, we resolved pretty much all of those limitations. Our techs now are flexible to cover zones rather than sites or regions. Techs cover modalities, and the position of those techs are optimized. So we were able to facilitate low response times, higher productivity, and increased expertise. There's a report that I get that shows what percentage of the work that's done in any particular modality is performed by our guys versus the OEM or an outside vendor, and I watch that very, very closely because it tells me a number of things. Do I need more training? You know, why am I calling in the vendor? Because supposedly we have the expertise in-house. We have much, much better utilization of our high-end skills. The training value and the expertise is shared throughout the system. Greatly reduced dependence on service contracts, better utilization of tools and test equipment, improved communication across regions, modalities. Every one of my modality groups has regularly scheduled TCONs where they share best practices, where they talk about challenges that the group has and make sure that everybody has the same information. We now have service metrics that can be established by modalities through the use of our central dispatch services, and this is the big one, a greatly increased service levels and uptime. The initial reports that we looked at as far as our uptime on our major modalities, we experienced a 60% increase in uptime. 60%. I didn't believe those numbers myself, and I went back and I scrutinized the detail and the numbers, and that's what it was. And it comes through doing better PMs, doing the right thing all the time. Okay, the guys that do the service on these things, they bring their families to these hospitals, so they care. You know, they care to a much higher degree than the folks we were having doing it before. This is a very, very collaborative effort among a lot of different groups. Finance, certainly we had to have their buy-in. Human resources and comp and benefits. Well, human resources, we had a dedicated person to help us hire the right people. Comp and benefits, they helped us rewrite all of our existing job descriptions and create new ones where we needed them. The site clinical leadership was very supportive. Employee and org development helped us with the change management process with our own staff as well as our customers. Information services was part of this, creative services and helping us develop our brochures, marketing and communications, getting the word out and information to our customers about what we were doing, operations improvement and helping us develop our productivity model, and the regional leadership certainly was a part of this in telecommunications and helping us get our BlackBerries set up.